Don't get mad at me because the owners down there too cheap or don't have like you bought the team in that market. You knew what you were going to get. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Yacht Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today, my tag team partner, in honor of Rey Mysterio Jr. I still remember that. Going to the WWE Hall of Fame. He is the Eddie Guerrero to my Chavo Guerrero in the WWE, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, how you doing, man? I missed all of WrestleMania Day 1, and hey, man, we tape on Sunday, so I watch Cody and Roman, but that's pretty much all I kind of care about. How you doing?
I watched one match Friday night. That was the Andre.
Dog, I'm still mad at that. How you doing, AJ? Oh, I'm sorry, Top Dollar like that. I'm sitting here yelling at my TV. Anyway, okay. On today's Wind Up Wednesday edition, the Odd Coaches Podcast, we're going to talk about the new NBA CBA and a continuation of our conversation for the NFL, cowards. We're going to close out the regular season, and we're going to talk about the week ahead in the NBA. But, Mike, let there be peace in all of the Valley. The NBA and the NBA PA have reached an agreement on a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement promising labor peace throughout the rest of the decade, sources told ESPN. The tentative deal, which starts with the 23-24 season, next season, was announced by the league and the union and is expected to be ratified in the coming weeks. The deal includes a mutual opt-out after the 6th year. So let's start off, Mike, with telling you what's not in the deal, because that's what I want to talk about. Discussions on lowering the age limit in the NBA is no longer a part of the deal. So one and done will continue for the foreseeable future. Talks on lowering the minimum age limit from 19 to 18 and allowing players to again jump from the NBA right out of high school has been a part of ongoing conversations. But when it came down, Mike, to put it in writing, those veterans was like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. You don't need to do that. In addition, you know the NBA created the G League's Ignite team so they can get the best high school players, coach them up for a year, see if they're worth it, and then draft them.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about them not pulling the trigger on lowering the age?
The way things are going now, I mean, there's a way to get around it. So I don't know why it's even a topic. Like, why is it even a topic for discussion now? Lowering the age. I think it's okay the way it is, but has it stopped guys from wanting to go? I mean, think about it.
But if I'm not mistaken, Adam Silver wanted everybody in and let the market tell you where you're going.
Right.
And the players, especially the veteran players, on that last bite of the apple, were like, nah, I'm good. Because if I get you on that rookie deal or a two-way contract, then why am I going to pay Draymond at the end of his career, using that as an example? So,
I don't know.
So let's officially talk about why this is a problem. So NBA PA Executive Director Tamika Trimangillo has spoken publicly about veteran players' concerns about 18-year-old players taking away roster spots. Also, the rise of significant financial opportunities, including name, image, and likeness, G League, and also Overtime Elite, has also softened the NBA PA's belief that they need to do this. The NBA raised the minimum draft age to 19 in 2005. Several prep to pro players in the prior area blossomed. Kobe, LeBron, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, and Dwight Howard all did well. But then you also have some of the other ones that didn't do well. But anyway, so the NBA founded the G League Ignite in 2022, and since then, 6 players have been drafted, including number 2 pick Jalen Green. The creation of the Ignite is probably one of the reasons why the NBA decided not to lower it. With that in mind, it appears as high school seniors will still have to wait. So that's what's not in the CBA. Let's talk about what's in the CBA. Curbing spending. So teams that are already on the luxury tax, like Golden State and the Clippers, they're going to have a second salary tax on top of the one that they give them. And they also will limit their ability to get mid-level taxpayer exceptions. So now you can't, continue to get the buyout, folks. And they are trying to counter spending. Mike, do you still want them to try to counter spending, or if I want to spend it, I should be able to spend it any way I want to?
If I got the money, I should be able to spend it the way I want to.
All right.
Don't get mad at me because the owners down there too cheap or don't have it. Like, you bought the team in that market. You knew what you were going to get. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
Well, the new CBA is expected to create more spending and trade opportunities for teams at the middle or lower tier of the spectrum of spending.
That's
and there'll
good.
be more opportunities in the free agent market, including larger trade exceptions.
But do they want that? That's the point. We're talking about that lower to mid, but do they want that? You just said a minute ago, well, the show we was taping yesterday, our yesterday's show, you talked about spending the money and being a bad owner,
saving them from themselves
for how many years, and still able to sell your team for $6 billion. Like,
yeah, 100%.
like, what do you do? So if the owners don't want to spend money, like I said, they knew what they was getting into when they bought the small market team.
Well, load management is a part of the CBA, Mike. In an attempt to curb load management and lost game among star players, the NBA is officially tying eligibility for postseason awards such as All NBA and MVP to a mandatory 65 games played.
I like it.
So you like that? So Zion's not going to win anything. Is that what you're telling me?
Ever. And neither is Kawhi, and neither is Paul.
Anthony Davis. He's not winning nothing.
Playoff.
Playoff P. Yeah.
Layoff P. Layoff.
Stop. He's legitimately injured, man.
Has been a long time.
Okay. All right. In-season tournament. The in-season tournament could arrive as soon as the 23-24 season, Mike. The event will include pool play games baked into the regular season schedule starting in November, with 8 teams advancing to a single elimination tournament in December. The Final Four will be held at a neutral site like Vegas, and each in-season tournament game would count towards regular season standings, and the 2 finalists would ultimately play 83 regular season games, and the winning teams, the players, and the coaches will earn additional prize money. Talk to me, sucker. What are you thinking about the in-season tournament possibly coming this season?
I'm not. You said, what am I thinking? I'm not. I don't like this at all. Like,
but the WNBA does it, and the winner gets $500,000.
And that's the issue. Like, you're not the WNBA. Why
they
would
do it in European soccer all the time?
So is that what we competing against now? European soccer?
Adam Silver likes that. We've been talking about this tournament.
I don't like that. You are the NBA. You have the best product going. You don't need to try to make yourself like everyone else. Like, your viewership is as good as it's going to get, right? I mean, yes or no?
We can always try to get more eyeballs on the product.
Okay,
more casual fan. Maybe the casual fan would like that.
How would that work?
I don't know. He's had his heart set on this. I just remember talking about this in-season tournament, and now we can't have the 18-year-olds, but we got the in-season tournament approved.
So what's 12 months anyway? Like, a difference between 18 and 19 ain't gonna be a major difference when them going in. I think 19's a good number.
It depends on if you have a bad 18.
I mean, 18 and 19.
That's how we got it. That's how we got guys through the census before, was they looked so good in high school, and then they got to the league, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
But the check was clean.
Yeah, because there was 18 playing against 16-year-olds. Like that don't give me 19. I like 19. Stick with it, and I think that
remember, colleges would get creamed about the one and done, and it's not even their rule; it's an NBA rule.
Mhm.
So these guys don't even go to class. And
hey, well, they don't.
It's not my rule.
You bring them in the summer, you give them 6 credits, and they get 6 credits in the summer doing
music appreciation. Would you like to hear some music?
Walking for wellness and music appreciation, and then they only got to pass 2 classes in the fall, and then they still carry it over, and they're good all year long. So they just go to, summer classes, 6 to 8 weeks, real quick, bam, out of there. It's good. All right. That's how you get it done.
Actually, it is.
In Florida, they had the mom class. All the athletes. No, seriously, I'm not.
I know. All right, so they're going to increase upper limits on contract extensions. So the NBA and the NBAPA agreed to increase the upper limits on contract extensions from a 120% increase to a 140% increase. So we're going to talk about somebody we talked about last week. Under the current rules, Jaylen Brown would be allowed to sign a 4-year extension worth $165 million. With the extension rules increased to 140%, Brown, who was set to earn $31.8 million next season, the final year of his current contract, which we will hear about, can now sign a 4-year max $189 million contract. So we'll see what happens with that.
Why?
And fine. Hey, because we're taxing higher, which means the money can funnel down.
Yeah, but this has only become a thing with him since all this other stuff came out recently. That's my point. Like, I'm sorry, he's a pretty good player, but I don't.
He ain't 189.
And I don't see why he mad that they were talking about trading him.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the other dude. You are not him. As what the lady said on TikTok. You are not him.
Okay.
He's not. I mean, he's a Scottie Pippen. And that ain't bad.
That ain't bad.
But you're not the primary. You can't. And then, anyway, go ahead.
All right. Finally, there's an increase in two-way contracts. The two-way contracts will jump from 2 to 3 per team. Two-way contracts were created in 2017's collective bargaining agreement as a vehicle for teams to, wait for it, Mike, develop younger players.
Yep.
Oh, like shucks. We can develop players. It has been a success and seen as a route to become a long-time NBA player. Some of the biggest stories, Austin Reeves and Alex Caruso from your Los Angeles Lakers. Duncan Robinson, one of my favorite stories.
Caruso and Max back in LA?
I don't know if he's back or not. That's your team.
Okay.
So I like this too. I like just developing, player development. It's still the lifeblood of any organization, no matter what you're doing. So
I love it. Trevin Queen was doing that with the Philadelphia 76ers, local kid, played at North County High School for a little bit, went to JUCO, didn't start hitting the leagues and has climbed his way up, had a nice 3-year deal with 76ers as two-way, and then got traded. Now he's with the Pacers with a 2-way deal with the Pacers, which is really good for him. And he's developing. He's doing really good.
Yeah, man. There's difference makers and then there's role players and you can make a lot of good, steady income playing that role, defense, rebound, outlet, hit the bone jumper occasionally, and be quiet. People like that. Okay? All right, so fans, in segment 2, we're going to talk about closing time. We're closing out the regular season and seeing what kind of playoff pushes these folks are making. We'll be right back on the Eye Coaches Podcast.
Why should student athletes use the CKA Save Project academic and athletic consulting services? Over the past 15 to 20 years, colleges, universities, professional sports teams, business organizations, and others have increased their use of consulting services to improve their decision-making processes and results. Over the same time, the athletic and academic landscape has changed for high school and college student athletes as the NCAA has raised initial academic eligibility requirements for student athletes while decreasing the number of transfer restrictions. Former college student athletes have noted that they were academic and athletically unprepared for the rigors of college. Let the CKA SAVE Project's close to 30 years of academic and athletic experience help guide student athletes to increase success as we work to help student athletes achieve the goal of obtaining a college degree. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
All right, fans, welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're talking about how some teams are closing out the regular season. And Mike, I really want to start with your Lakers. Anthony Davis, although he may be hobbled with a turned ankle, have got the Lakers above 500, and they're trailing Golden State going into the last week of the season by a game and a half at the time of this taping. And the Lakers own the tiebreaker over the Warriors. Can they get to the 6th slot, sir?
It ain't gonna matter if they do. They're not ready. This team is not ready for a playoff run. I mean, I understand everything they're trying to do to get there. And applaud Anthony Davis he's been doing pretty good right now. Like, he's consistent. I mean, he got hurt again, but he's playing.
They turned his ankle.
But he's played better, right? And I don't know, I hate to say without LeBron. Is that no, seriously, I mean, you know,
it's okay.
Without LeBron, he seemed to have been playing better. I don't know what that means. I haven't actually watched them play since LeBron went out, to be honest with you, because I felt like it was no chance of them making the playoffs. And even if they make the playoffs for this play-in, they're not going to advance far enough to where,
it should matter. Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
All right. We're going to talk about Toronto as we close out the regular season. After 10 years in Toronto as an assistant and a head coach, Nick Nurse sounds like might be done. He said, and I quote, "I'm going to take a few weeks to see where I am at the conclusion of the season." He called it a difficult season from a number of standpoints. Nick Nurse is 55, has been the Raptors head coach since the start of 2018, 2019, and was assistant under Dwayne Casey for 5 years before that. Since he took over, Nurse has gone 224 and 160 as a head coach, leading them to the 2019 NBA championship. Has this run its course in Toronto, sir, in your opinion?
You get to a point where, all right, this ain't going nowhere. Not that and you just get tired of the routine. Oh, you need a new challenge. When I left North County to go to Essex, everybody's like, "Man, why are you doing that?" Like, because it just became too routine to me. You know what I mean? It was like it wasn't challenging anymore. And before I got in trouble and did something stupid, I wanted to get out and get a new challenge and kind of reinvent myself and get into, something else. And I think that maybe that's what he's feeling right now. But he's had a great, a good run. 224 and 160 is not a bad.
And that improbable title. And that improbable title.
Yeah.
And we just talked about Ed Cooley doing the same thing. He's been in Providence, Rhode Island all of his life.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do something different, and you should have every right to want to do something different.
And DC is definitely different.
All right. Minnesota. Mike, I'm kind of pissed off about this one, so keep me calm. The Minnesota Timberwolves center, Rudy Gobert, was fined $25,000, and coach Chris Finch was fined $15,000 last week for criticizing officials in a game against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns beat the Timberwolves in that game 107-100, and Finch pointed out a discrepancy in free throw attempts. 27 for the home team, 12 for Minnesota. Finch said Suns coach Monty Williams' previous criticism of the official works because tonight they went to the line 27 times. Sitting up here and talking about it or whatever must have worked for him. Gobert went further, claiming that it's really not fair that officials were trying to help Phoenix win. He alleged that the Timberwolves don't get calls because they aren't perceived as a marquee team in the league. We understand that we're not the biggest market, I think you want to see KD in the playoffs, Steph in the playoffs. You want to see LeBron in the playoffs. Timberwolves are not there yet. Mike, what are we doing, man?
Tell them the truth.
All right, hold on. Did
Tell the truth.
did the referees miss shots? Did the referees miss
Might not
defensive
miss shot,
assignment?
but he might miss the push in the back that made me miss the shot. He might miss the grab on the arm that made me turn the ball over. He might miss the step over that came through his elbow a little high to get the layup, and there was no call. Like there's things that lead into it. It's like hockey assists. That's what they are. They hockey assists.
Okay,
Referees can make hockey
Denver's
assists.
number one. Nobody's screaming to see Jokic. Memphis is number two, and Sacramento, who we're transitioning to, number three. You can't tell me there's some government conspiracy to get the King prime TV real estate. Yeah.
No, but we ain't talking about the Kings. We're talking about the Suns. You're right about there's nobody on Denver that we know. We're talking about the Suns, though. We're talking about people who they're going to tune in for. Denver could be number one, but they're still not going to make you turn that TV on and watch their game. But if LeBron is playing, if KD is playing, if like he said, if any of those guys are playing, though, you're going to watch that game. And that's the point. So the NBA needs them in the playoffs. I mean, it is a business at the end of the day, right?
All right. So you think they're screwing over the T-Wolves?
I wouldn't say screwing over the T-Wolves.
Because that's what he said. He said they cheated, Mike. He said the officials cheated to have us lose.
Cheating is a strong word. Just maybe they didn't blow the whistle as much as they should have. 27.
And then you got the coach complaining about Monty Williams using the media. Pat Riley used the media in Los Angeles, in New York, and in Miami. And
so did Phil Jackson.
And everybody else. What are we? That's all I hear.
You're supposed to do. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You plant them seeds early.
My team stinks. we traded a ridiculous amount of picks for Rudy Gobert, and he's really awful.
Yeah, that hurts too. Like, yeah, Rudy, come on, Rudy. Let's
Whatever,
go,
man. All right.
Finally, those free throws.
I can't stand criers, man. The sun was in my eye. I had the flu. I slipped on a banana peel. Paul Lee was the ninja. He didn't move. They don't like my market. Excuses don't get the job done, baby. They don't get none of it done.
The super team explanation to me, that's what I don't like. That's what this is. I liken it to that. The term super team. I can't stand it.
Yeah. All right, finally in this segment, salute to the Sacramento Kings because they have officially done it. After 16 seasons, the longest playoff drought in the NBA is over. The Kings officially clinched the playoff spot. Man, they were hot bad, man. They were bad for a lot of years, Mike. They spent a lot of time in the lottery. Over 16 years, they lost a total of 809 games. They've had 11 different head coaches, 5 different heads of basketball operations. Only one King made the All-Star game, and that was Boogie Cousins. He did so 3 times before Sabonis and Fox did it this season, De'Aaron Fox, that is. The streak spanned over 2 ownership groups. Mike Brown's coach of the year. It's not a second one. Like Jock Vaughn, did a great job, Brooklyn. Mike Brown's coach of the year. Congratulations to the Kings. Mike, any thoughts on the job that they did? Sacramento was bad, man. Bad.
No. They ain't did nothing yet.
They made the playoffs. There you go.
So what?
16 years,
so
man.
What? So what? So what? So what? I don't care. They made it. We're gonna celebrate. Let's hand out. Let's hand out the trophies now because they made it. This trophy generation. Yay! You made the playoff.
All right. So fans, when we get back, we'll talk about the week ahead in the NBA as we close out the regular season. Now we'll have the standings in front of us. Let's see what's going on. We'll be right back. The Odd Coaches Podcast.
The CKA SAVE project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete academic and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student-athletes. As student-athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE project offers academic and athletic services to support student-athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 3, we'll actually talk about the rankings going into the regular season finale. The season ends April 9th. So in the East, top 5, Bucks, Boston, Philly, Cleveland. They look to be comfortable in those 4 slots. Knicks are 5, and the Nets are still 6. I don't know how Jock Vaughn got those Nets still 6, but hey, who does the Bridges kid play for? Is that the Nets?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
KJ
Mikal
likes
Bridges.
him. Yeah, he likes him.
And Jock Vaughn should have been coach of the year.
Well, 16 years, man. 16.
Should be coach of the year.
All right, 7, Heat, 8, Hawks, 9, Raptors, 10, Bulls. Teams to watch. Bucks are getting beat a little bit, man. And the Celtics. So in the West, we've got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, Phoenix, Clippers, Golden State is 6. Lakers are right behind them, 7. New Orleans is 8, and Mike, it might be a chance. Might be a chance that the big bad man, Zion, suits up. Minnesota's 9th, and Oklahoma City is 10th. Hey, Minnesota's 9th. That means you're in the play-in game, so maybe you could play better and get into the playoffs. So who we looking at right now? I gave you the East, gave you the West.
Bucks.
Regular season ends. Bucks are getting drubbed right now, though. Are they just mailing it in at the end of the season?
Yeah, they'll turn it on. I think the Bucks will win the Eastern Conference.
West is wide open. I can't even.
I will give Denver. If them other guys just let Jokic be Jokic and don't go off the ranch like crazy stuff. It's like they get in the playoffs and these dudes like, man, they want to prove how good they are or what they should be, and then they start taking bad shots and it hurts the team. I saw that in Denver before. If they just keep playing the way they play in the regular season is the way they need to play in the postseason, but they just need to amp it up a little bit. Maybe some fresh sets, get the ball to Jokic more in different situations, different points of view. Like I like him on the elbow, not necessarily the middle of the floor at the top. Like a lot, they do a lot middle top stuff. Yeah, because he can see. But if I put him on the elbow, I create a help side, which will let me read better. And I think I open the floor on the one side to his side, put a guy in the corner, give him the ball on the elbow, triangle on the backside, maybe a couple screens, interchanges between those 3. And now there's two-man ball on this side. I think that he passes well enough. He sees the floor. He can score. He's skilled with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
If he can just stay healthy, and I'm giving him the ball on the elbow all playoff long, and let him decide what you want to do, big fella.
All right, so let me give you some of these matchups, Mike. Now, again, this is just as of today. In the East, Milwaukee would play Atlanta because Milwaukee would be 1, Atlanta's 8. Okay. Boston would play Miami. Jimmy don't scare you if you're Boston?
If the other guy, like we said before, if the other guys are making shots and let Jimmy be Jimmy, yeah, it could be tough. Because
Philadelphia would play Brooklyn. And Ben Simmons is shut down for the rest of the season in case.
That's a snoot.
And then Cleveland would play New York.
I'm sleeping through all that.
All right.
I might tune in to watch the Knicks. I'll see Emmanuel Quigley play. Shout out Emmanuel Quigley. Shout out G-Day.
All right, and in the West, Denver will play the Lakers.
He would kill the Lakers.
Okay.
I'd watch that, but he'd kill it. Who gonna guard him? There's not one player on the Lakers can guard Jokic. No offense. LeBron could, but LeBron too old for that. Not for a whole season.
Memphis will play New Orleans. And Zion could be back, so the high school buddies could go against each other. And New Orleans,
Next game.
Sacramento would play the. I'm sorry, Sacramento would play the Clippers in a series.
I'll see the second round. Call me on the second round. Let me go. Let me get in for the second round.
And Golden State and Phoenix. Phoenix is 4, Golden State's 5th. That's must-see TV in the first round.
I will watch Phoenix no matter where they are because their record right now in the regular season has nothing to do with what they're going to do in the playoffs when everybody's healthy and playing together. That's totally different. You didn't mention Dallas anywhere in there. Did I miss it? Oh, my bad. Good.
Yeah, that would be correct.
My bad.
Where is Dallas right now? I think they're 11th. Because 0.5 is unavailable, sleeping, but that's okay. Dallas is currently 1 game back of the 10th slot in the West. And heck, the Jazz are 1.5 games back. Interesting.
We're not talking about the Jazz. Come on.
All right. Games of the week. Friday, April 7th. Golden State versus Sacramento. Golden State better keep winning, or they'll be in the play-in. All right. And Saturday, April 8th, Portland against the Clippers. Again, the Clippers, y'all better keep winning. So those are the games as we close out the regular season. Finally, Mike, this is actually a Hall of Fame. Not a Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony Parker, Paul Gasol, Becky Hammond, Dirk, Dwayne Wade. They all got in, and Pop got in, Greg Popovich. So that's a Hall of Fame class.
Yes, it is. You can't question anyone.
We had some shaky bakey Hall of Famers, some Hall of Very Gooders, but that's a Hall of Fame class. Now there's others who are going in the Hall of Fame, and you can read all about them. But that's top shelf right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's top shelf liquor right there, and I just enjoyed their careers. And that's not a Hall of Fame. We're not debating that like we do some of them, and let's put the stats and the comparison. And, nah, these are one-namers, and
this ain't the top 75 of the NBA, right? This is actually this ain't the top 70 all 75 team. This is
with a bunch of farmers and plumbers.
And cab drivers. This ain't it. When you can name 5 names like that and not even question any of them, that's a good class. That's a great class. I would only thing I would suggest is they drop the amount of years that you have to wait to get in. I think 3 years should be. I mean, if 3 years is the longest contract you're gonna get at some point, I think we should make the Hall of Fame 3 years and then start to recognize people a little earlier.
I think they're running out of stuff. I just went to the Hall of Fame, and
you said they run out of room?
I was a little underwhelmed with the Hall of Fame. One is like in a strip mall. So I drove by it the first time. I was like, I had to do it.
What is this?
But it was it's nice, but it could make it a little better. But
so the NFL Hall of Fame look like is connected to a high school football stadium. So
see, I haven't been there yet.
Oh my God. AJ played in that game. His first professional game was preseason on my birthday against the Dallas Cowboys in the Hall of Fame. Like the ultimate.
And I want to go there, man. I want to go there.
Ultimate birthday present I've received ever.
But it was fun. I enjoyed myself, and they have a basketball court, and they have a Cold Stone next door.
Did you?
I've had Cold Stone in a while.
I'm ready to put you on timeout.
Maybe they could be an official. All right. Well, anyway,
I need
congratulations to all of the Hall of Famers. I did enjoy the visit. My wife and I had a very good time there. It's just okay. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis and Coldstone, I am Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and to watch the Coaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.